worse, not to cut you off, brother. You know what makes it worse is, like you said, it's the timing of everything. Grant's been in that locker room with him for how many years? And never a peep like this before. Never any type of indication that he was uncomfortable because of Grant or anything else, right?
Right.
No, it's because Grant said the truth and called you out. You're not really worth not only the money, and you know me, of all people, I don't like pocket watching, but you're not worth it to be on this team. You don't really do anything. Like, you literally don't do anything. And as Grant has said before, like, why do we have a fullback that doesn't do anything? I remember the days of Tom Rathman, real fullback, William Floyd, real fullback. What does Juszczyk do? Nothing other than go in motion, side to side, and telegraph the play.
I want to bring Twin in. He's backstage. Before I do that, though, real quick, I've been in a lot of locker rooms as a coach, as a player throughout my life, and I've never had anyone bashful about dressing in the locker room. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me bring a Twin in. My God, Twin. There he is.
What's up, man? How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
The king of Central Time. Bing.
What's good, man?
Good to see you, man. We got some super chats I want to get to, and then we're going to dive in this game. We were kind of waiting for you to pop in before we got too deep into it. Big time, $1.99. Haven't heard anyone describing Niners as physical. So here's let's start with this. And I know we got a lot of super chats and a lot of things to talk about, but we're going to start with this. What's the identity of the 49ers? Brock Purdy himself was, after the game, he asked basically what the problems were, and he said, we need to find our identity, and we need to build chemistry. Something I actually tweeted out 3 hours before he gave that interview. When I'm watching this team, what is their identity? They used to run the ball, play action, pass, get the ball out quick. Now, what is it? I blame this loss more than anybody on Kyle Shanahan, and all of a sudden we're a drop-back passing team. Run the ball. Every team that's played the Cardinals have ran for 146 yards. Twin, tap in here, brother.
Hey, man. What's good? First and foremost, man, sorry for my tardiness, but you know how it is trying to get everything together. What's up to everybody in the chat? What's up, my fellow brother? What up, Ryan? What's up, brother Bob? How y'all doing? Man, listen here. What's up with this team? You said it, man. Identity crisis. I remember at the end of last year, we began running, passing the ball on first down the last 3 weeks of the season, and to try to throw off teams because we were running the ball on first down, try to get at least 2nd and 6, 2nd and 8, something like that, manageable. But now all of a sudden we are prone to pass the ball on first down, which is now starting to be predictable because now it's just a tendency. It's not catching us off guard or the other team off guard. And what tends to happen is when Kyle begins to find his little rhythm and passing the ball on first down, it transitioned to the second half when the running game was established and you was getting productive yards on first down. Now, when you get first, you get an incomplete, you get 2nd and long, and then you maybe get, 4 or 5 yards on the second down. You in 3rd and long. And I think, who was it? It was somebody last week said you want the 49ers in 3rd and long. You want them in passing down situations because their passing schematics become more predictable. Not necessarily when it comes from like 80 yards out, but in the red zone. In that red zone area, when we become pass dominant on first down and we got to go punch that ball into the end zone, this is where we become ineffective. It's not like we can't get the ball down there. It's just that we can't push the ball in. So I think what Brock Purdy was trying to say is, are we willing to stay consistent with the run, or are we going to go all the way out with the passing game? And I think what we've shown of late is that we've been going more heavy on the passing, and we're not being able to be more efficient in the end zone, which therefore causes us to kind of get a little minor lead, not a big lead, and are able to get hawked down from behind. And so we got to make sure we go and take care of that, because that physicality is not there when you begin to pass that ball on first down a lot of the times, because now your offensive line is doing what? You're protecting instead of going and engaging and then establishing the line of scrimmage. You're just trying to protect the quarterback. And now, therefore, we're getting a little lazy out there.
Yeah.
So tell me this, guys. I think it's a serious question, because you mentioned something, Ryan, about identity, and I agree with what Twin has said. But to me, it really sounds like, and I'm being honest when I say this, not because I dislike Kyle Levy, but he's calling out the coach, right? Because to me, the coach, who's the top of the organization, sets the identity of the team and determines what the team is going to be like, how the team's going to play. And especially when that coach is the offensive coordinator and calls the plays, he determines what type of identity this team is going to have. And lastly, when this coach has so much influence, basically as a de facto GM picking the players, then I mean, how do you not know your identity? And Brock has been on this team 3 years now. You mean to tell me he doesn't know the identity after going through this offseason too? Don't you build that in the offseason? I just want to know. You guys tell me, what am I missing?
Here's what I want to bring up. I'm gonna read you guys Brock Purdy stats, and then I'm gonna explain why I think they are this way. Brock Purdy has a 65.6 completion percentage for the season, 1,374 yards. The yards are good. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 4 fumbles, 2 of them lost. So he has 6 touchdowns, 6 turnovers. That's not good. That's not going to cut it. He's trending 4,671 yards. The yards are good. He's trending 20 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 14 fumbles with 7 lost. He's trending 21 turnovers. He's trending more turnovers than touchdowns. You can't do that. And now, here's why I don't blame it all on Brock. You decide all of a sudden you're a drop back passing team, but you don't invest in your offensive line, which everyone has been telling you to do for 2 years. So now you got Brock running around there like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to just make something happen. And you're expecting him to just run this drop back passing game that you didn't build the team to do. This team is based run the ball, play action, boom, get it out quick. That's the only way that a team with this kind of offensive line can survive.
Hey, did we not hear Tom Brady though in the telecast? I don't know about you guys, but did y'all hear Tom Brady?
What did he say?
Tom Brady, like he was consistently saying, like, listen here, we've known the Niners over this tenure to what? To establish the running game and play action off that. But when you passing the ball on first down, there's no play action to even be weary of. So therefore, your defense kind of can hone in on the route concepts and what it is that you're going to do. So therefore, the creativity is now what? It's minimized because you're not even going for the run fakes or things of that nature or the handoff. You're not even expecting it. And so when Tom Brady, as we all know who he is, he's telling us that from the telecast, like, hey, guys, I see what we're trying to do, but that's not what you're known for. And he liked Brock Purdy, but at the same time, Tom Brady said this, and it was very elite early in the game. He said, one thing about a quarterback is this. You don't try to minimize what he can do. You expand everything that he can do, and then you allow him to control what it is that he sees. But see, when you try to play that game where you're trying to be a puppeteer, but then at the same time allow Pinocchio to be a real boy, what happens? There's a misunderstanding, or what Brock said, I don't know what our identity is. Are you trying to hand the keys over to me? Or when you feel certain things are out of control, you try to hear him take the reins back. You see what I mean? And so when you got guys who understand the game, who can see the game from afar, and you already have little things and chinks in the locker room that's already a little shaky because of the Brandon Ayuk situation, because of injuries with Christian McCaffrey, these are the things that bleed into the schemes of the team, which causes the issues where you don't see the continuity or the belief in the trust in your system like you once did.
Yeah. And the 49ers offense, by the way, this is why I'm focused on offense.
Tom ain't got to hate on those 49ers, Jay. Come on, man. Oh, my bad. I just had to say that. Right?
I gotta focus on the 49ers offense tonight because 0 points in the second
half.
0 points in the second half. 20. It's just not. I don't know what their issue is in the red zone. So Daza here says we're seeing what Brock and Kyle look like without CMC. Here's the thing: it's like Kyle got spoiled with Christian McCaffrey. I got Christian McCaffrey, and that's my red zone weapon. He's gone. I don't know what to do. But everyone calls you the offensive genius.
Genius, right?
You don't you can't. You look how many all pros you still have, man. Learn to score the ball at the red zone. It's more like offensive weenus. Like, stop calling this man a genius until you can score in the red zone. I'm just annoyed right now with this team.
No, but
you should be,
Ryan,
though, man. You should be.
And the funny thing, Ryan, sorry, twin. The funny thing, Ryan, this is not new. That's the funny thing. This isn't a new phenomenon. This has been like this. We had a couple, maybe 3 or 4 games where we were hitting 30. Okay, great, last year. But this offense has always sputtered. This offense, when it needs to score, like when you know, like, okay, defense can't hold them, but we had to go back down and score again constantly. Look at the Super Bowl. We couldn't do it. This is not a new phenomenon. This is why I've always been calling him Kyle Levy. He gets all this praise because he's the sperm that made it to the egg first. The only thing he's ever won in his life was that. I mean, like, what has he won on any level? Has he won a championship on any level? Barely played at Texas. Okay. He's the offensive coordinator that lost the Super Bowl with a huge lead because he wouldn't run the ball then. He's a head coach who's lost 2 Super Bowls with leads, lost the NFC Championship game with a lead. You know, you have to understand he is what he is. And we just have to ignore the fact that he's the son of Mike Shanahan, because Mike was actually a winner. Kyle is not. And he's showing you that he knows how to lose the same way over and over and over again. Pathetic.
Yeah.
At home, go ahead.
Sorry, no, let me get this off. Our running back leads the league in rushing. How come we suck in the red zone? We just talked about that. Listen, though, I want to something real important too. Jordan Mason only had 14 carries tonight, 89 yards, like 6 something per carry. When they finally started running the ball, he was killing it. I think he started to run the ball early, saw that they were putting 8 in the box, and gave up instead of just saying, "Stop us!" Like that's supposed to be our identity. That's what Jim Harbaugh would have done.
Say that again,
right?
Say that again.
And then here's the other thing, bro. Like the fumble, Jordan Mason has 3 fumbles this year. He's got to clean that up. But that fumble, the guy who stripped the ball out was Kyle Juszczyk, gave up on the block. He had a block, let him go. The guy stripped it out. Kittle got blown up, pancake. Yep. The guy held Mason up, and then Kyle Juszczyk's man comes over and rips the ball out. It was his assignment. He gave up on it. It's just go ahead, man.
Check this out. And also, man, for people who watch the game, go back, watch the game. It's unfortunate when we get in the red zone, we always go into single back. We motion out the running back out of the I formation. We go to side. It's like, bro, why we get in the red zone situation? I remember back in the day, I formation, jumbo formation, full house formation. You bring in the big belly hog mouth eating. They take all the potato salad off the table to eat all the chicken wing. You bring them
all mouths.
As I'm saying, you bring them big boys in, right? Because you got a guy, if y'all looked at the game, Mason, when he has the ability to see a hole and there's some type of engagement, he's not going to get taken down in the backfield. If he busts through the line of scrimmage, he's going to lean forward and get at least a yard or 2. So why is it that we spreading things out and trying to like have these little magical first down plays and we passing instead of just getting the ball in the red zone saying, okay, guys, you are not stopping our run. Let's get into this I formation. Let's actually use Juszczyk as a what? As a fullback. Like a old school Daryl Moose Johnston or an old school Tom Rappin, like old school Lorenzo Neal, because you have the physicality in a running back like Mason and a doggone tight end like George Kittle to go out there and say, hey guys, we finna punish you with physicality, we finna bust you in your nose, and we finna go get a touchdown. And see, when we wait to the end of the game to the 4th quarter and try to run the ball, then we fumble, it makes it look like, okay, Mason can't run the ball in the red zone. It's like, nah, bro. We spent 2.5 quarters not giving the ball to punch the ball in, and we want to get pass happy and cute. And then we want to cry about why we ain't in there scoring touchdowns. It's Kyle got to change his mentality when getting the red zone, and then you can do a naked bootleg with a Brock Purdy when you didn't establish the running game in the red zone, and you can fake it and use his feet that way, where it's a what? It's a call running play instead of him have to scramble all the time like he a chef at Waffle House cooking scrambled eggs for. Man, let me stop. Go ahead, go, man. I'm ticked off, man, because we got too much talent to be out here screwing up in the red zone like this, man. It's not called for.
Speaking of talent, I want to bring up 3 dudes that positives. First of all, I told everybody to relax on Brandon Ayuk. I told everybody to relax on Brandon Ayuk. Okay? 8 receptions, 147 yards. He's the same dude. As I told everybody who was all up in Brandon Ayuk shit for the last couple of weeks, he's going to be fine. Second and third guy that we need to play all the time, who I told you we need to play, Malik Mustafa and D. Winters. Yep. They have speed. The 49ers need speed. Brother Bob was at the Rams game, said they look slow as hell. Malik changes the game. D. Winters changes the game. They need to start playing the right dudes. I want to give those 3 dudes their flowers because those were 3 dudes that actually stood out today and did something.
And you know what? You're absolutely right, Ryan. And you know what the funny part is? They can only get better with playing. That's the thing. And so why not get those young players some PT? Why not? I mean, you're gonna have to play them anyway. But yeah, it baffles my mind when I look at Campbell. Oh my God, I think, I literally think that my 2-year-old daughter can run faster than him at this point because he's slow to recognize the play, he's slow to get to the hole, and he can't tackle anymore. He really can't tackle anymore. So, but I like what you said about Mustafa. I think I tweeted out it should be Mustafa and Brown. They should be our starting safeties. Period. I'm sorry. I'm just that's what it has to be. So, but to me, man,
I love Huff, but he hasn't looked. He was never fast, but he looks slower right now, and it was natural.
He was never fast.
And what made his game really good?
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna pick out what you said about Huff, and what made Huff game actually really good was his instincts. And what you lose after playing, like when you don't play for a year and some change, is your timing, and you don't trust your eyes no more. And see, that's what he had to do to compensate for his lack of speed, was he had to trust his eyes and ability to read and react. You know what I mean? And so when you don't do that as a safety, and you slow, and you are prone to missing tackles like it was last year, but in the year before then, but because he made big splash plays, it kind of erased that stuff underneath the rug. But now, like you said, when you're not doing that other stuff, now your deficiencies are on the screen for everybody to see.
I think you're muted, Ryan. And so while you're muted, I'm gonna jump in and say this then real quick.
All right, go ahead.
While we're still on the defense,
you
know, I'm watching JJ, and I said this the other day. TJ Watt play, and he's hit 100 sacks, granted 8 years. Bosa's at 56 in 6 years. Tell me, and I know Bosa was hurt 1 year, but I know TJ's been out some time too.
Yeah,
right. So why is the highest paid, DN / linebacker, whatever position you want to call it, why is he not playing like the best? Why isn't he the best? As my friend MMK Matt McEwen always say, you get paid like the best, you got to be the best. So, but my point is, he doesn't take over games. Get rid of the wide nine. Get rid of it. It's not working. Plus, teams run. Oh my God, man, I'm gonna have nightmares about Connor just running like right through us, like as if we weren't on defense playing, like as if I was out there playing defense.
Ryan,
dude.
good?
Like,
yeah, I'm good. I'm just listening to you because I'm reading something right now.
All right. So
go ahead. No, I'm reading stats while you guys are talking.
It's all good. I just saw what Melvin said. Tell Dak that BB, but it's true. I mean, I just don't understand it. Somebody tell me, what am I missing? Like, why?
Well, I think like Bosa did have a good play today. He did have a good stop on the run, but I think what you're trying to say is you don't see him consistently causing wreckage in the game, similar to what you will see like a TJ Watt. And so it's not that people were saying that he didn't make a play today. He did make a couple good plays. We're not saying he was just out here like Hollow Man is invisible. But when you are looking at the Max Crosby of the world, you compare him to the TJ Watts of the world, you're looking at that motor and his consistent ability to cause some type of disruption in the backfield. There were multiple times where Kyler Murray, I think they said in the first half, there was only one pressure. Like we do see the big play, which we give him for going out there and making an interception. But you got one pressure in the first half against a quarterback like Kyler Murray, who can not only throw the ball deep down the field, but also run the ball. Thank God we had time of possession on our side, which therefore they didn't have that many opportunities. And so we do need Bosa to be a little more consistent in him being disruptive. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing I think you were trying to pick up on, Brother Bob, is just like, dog, we need more of you in that backfield, or causing more strip sacks or more turnovers, you know what I mean? And doing things of that nature to get the ball back to the team, even though we might not even score once you get the ball back, like we did when you got that interception. We kick the field goal anyway. Like, we don't want to talk about that. Like, bro, even when Nick Bosa do make a play offensively, we get in the red zone, aka the money zone. It's like, hey, if Ryan says, hey, here's a check, twin, for $20,000, I get the check, I go to the bank, I get down in the bank and get to the doggone teller, but guess what I don't do? I don't sign my name on the back of the check. So I done went here, I got 20 racks, you know what I'm saying? But I'm too lazy to do what? Punch it in, bro. man, we got to start punching these things in. We 1 for 6 in the money zone, man. You can't be the 49ers talking all this cash money and you empty in the bank account.
Let me read off some of the stuff. Fred Warner, 7 total tackles, 5 assists. So Fred did his thing. I wasn't mad at the defense. And even Nick Bosa, right? He had 4 tackles, 1 interception. When he was asked about the Kyler Murray play in the beginning, he said his assignment was to crash. So if he's telling the truth, he was told to crash on the handoff to the running back. It wasn't on him. It must have been on the outside linebacker, which I believe was Devondre Campbell, who is way too slow to be handling Kyler Murray duties. So
Right.
yeah. Let me get some of these super chats real quick, fellas. Daza said, thanks for all the super chats, buddy. I appreciate it. We used to be violent and out physical opponents. But what happened? Dre Greenlaw got hurt. Big time, 97, good physical specimen, but lacks IQ, in my opinion. I don't have no problem with Bosa, honestly, tonight. Now, is he playing like the highest? Is he playing like the best player on defense in the NFL? No, that's Fred Warner. Is he playing up to his contract? No, but he's playing fine. He's top 10 at his position right now, but he's paid like top 1. So I think that's where the high standard comes from for a lot of people. So Moody was hurt. I mean, Jake Moody was hurt, man. He cost me that. So I won almost all my bets, and then they pulled that one out, but it reduced what I won on my bets. And who cares about my bets? But hopefully Jake Moody gets healthy. But we have a game Thursday. Look, the 49ers are 0-3 against NFC opponents. They're 0-2 in the NFC West, and they got a short week. They got to go to Seattle and play a Seattle team who I believe is 3-2. Yes, 3-2, number 1 in the NFC West. They got to do it without a kicker. How important is the loss of Jake Moody to you guys, or is it?
And say this about Seattle. I think they end up winning or losing that game today. I think they lost. They lost today on the last second field goal. But the Seattle Seahawks passed the ball probably more than any team in the National Football League. They gave Geno Smith more control of the offense at the line of scrimmage. So just so we know, we got to find some way to put some pressure on somebody, because at the end of the day, somebody like Geno, who has the opportunity to look at our team, our defense, and know the pressure is not coming off a short week, and they're trying to get their get back. We got a hurt Moody, a Mooney Ward. You know what I mean? He played okay today, but he's still he's nursing that injury. And you got a team that's going to be in 3 wide receivers throughout like pretty much most of the game. And they're not as they used to. So they kind of are resembling more of a Los Angeles Ram type of situation. And they always give us issues. So we definitely going to have to hurry up and trash this game, because they're trying to come and they see blood in the water. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to make sure that they can look at us and say, you know what, man, we may have effed this game up yesterday, but we got a chance to take this team who's been leading the division and bring them down 0-4 or 0-3, something like that. So, man, listen here. We better make sure we get our D-line in order, because they coming to come get us, man. Point blank.
Here's what I was going to say. He says Seattle looks whack. Stop it. Well, I mean, what do we look like?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
We couldn't be depleted Rams.
We
couldn't get cards.
We ain't got no room to be over here talking like we Bison or somebody.
That's
like,
the
bro,
problem. That's the problem. And Bob brought it up earlier. Diamador Lenore talking about they lucked out and got one. They say this shit all the time. And I like Demo. I like his personality. He's one of the best players on this defense. He's doing great. Big fan of Demo. But that's not it, Demo. They didn't luck out. We got out-coached and outplayed. The better team won. The only teams we beat are horrible. We haven't beat a good team all year. The only teams we beat are trash. So, like,
speak on that.
They have to win this game against Seattle, man, or it's bad. Like, you don't want to be 2-4, 0-3 in your division, 0-4 in the NFC. That's not a good sign, man. Then we got to play the Chiefs, and we better beat the Cowboys, because I spent way too much money on Cowboy tickets, and I damn near want a refund. If my wife's sister wasn't going to the game, I would just ask for a refund right now, because the money I spent on that game. Jeez, man. What are your thoughts? Though?
Let's
We're playing the Seahawks. Are we gonna win? Are we gonna win? Brother Bob, you speak. Are we gonna win?
You know what? Honestly, I cannot
Rob,
realistically say. Yeah.
Is he
You hear
stuck on
me?
your channel, Ryan, or just me?
I see
I
everybody
hear you.
fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So here's my opinion, man. You cannot realistically think the Niners can beat any team easily. I mean, I can't pick them. You lost to the Rams, who were like playing their second and third stringers. You then lost after you had a lead, 10 points again. You then lost at home to the Cards after having a 10-point plus lead. And now you mentioned Moody. Here's the thing. Let me just say this real quick about Moody. Does everyone remember what was the big thing about Moody when we picked him third in the third round? You guys remember? He had a
Who?
big leg.
Oh, Big Moody. Yeah.
Balls, right? He can hit the ball deep and great for field goals. And my thing was all last year on kickoffs, he wasn't kicking the ball deep. I was like, bro. So then, like when we had some kick returns, long kick returns against us, I think it lost one of the games. I can't remember which one. It was like, yeah, bro, kick the ball deep out of the end zone. All you got to do. But then guess what happened today? The play he got injured on, he didn't kick the ball out of the back of the end zone. I don't understand it. You wouldn't have to be tackling. So, to answer your question, hell no. I can't realistically, my brain cannot say we're going to beat the Seahawks without what kicker we're going to get, first of all. And the kicker seems to be Kyle's best play. Like, oh, I'm 2 yards away from the touchdown. I'm going to kick the field goal. You know what I'm saying? Last week against, not last week, but against the Rams, you lined up a 55-yarder. So, no, man, I can't really. And then we're going to still start Campbell at linebacker. And I've been saying this for weeks now. The damn defense looks slow. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I mean, why should I be convinced? Because they went to the Super Bowl last year? That's last year. They haven't shown me anything this year. I mean, every time they go against a halfway decent team, they lose. They lost to the Rams. Aren't even decent. They lost to the Rams. If the Rams head coach and quarterback beat the whole entire 49ers team. That's all they had on the whole team is a good coach and a good quarterback. And we lost to the Rams. And hey, man, look, we got to be able to speak on Brock, okay? I told you guys in the beginning of the show that Brock, his statistics, and then I blame a lot of it on the play calling because I don't think it fits who Brock Purdy is. And I blame it on the offensive line because you can't have a drop back passing game with this offensive line. But Brock is responsible for some of this too. Like he is the quarterback. I blame Kyle more than anything for this loss by his play calling. But Brock has to stop turning the ball over. He has 4 interceptions and 4 fumbles, 2 of which he lost. He has 6 touchdowns. He's part of this. He's got to make it happen. I don't know why he's not taking the easy play that's right in front of him. He wants everything to be a giant play. And I don't know if that's what he's been instructed to do, but I doubt it. Like, take the dump off.
I think Tom Brady even said so himself. He's like, hey, I feel like the Niners are trying to take, like, every play. They're looking deep. They're looking for the big play. They're looking for the big explosive play. Tom Brady kept saying that's why you can look at the yard. He only had like 14 completions throughout 3 quarters, but we had like 200-something yards just because he's only looking for the big play. And then he does the scramble drill, which it looks nice and exciting. And yes, does he get some positive yardage out of it sometimes? He does. But also, he takes some unnecessary hits out of it sometimes, and we getting lucky. You know what I mean? Because it's early on in the season, and because he is holding the ball, he's running around. Sometimes it works out, but we got to make sure that he's upright. You know what I mean? And some things Kyle don't like. Kyle got to protect his quarterback from himself as well, and ain't nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean Brock isn't a good quarterback at all. It just means that we haven't found a good rhythm. We need to build some consistent winning plays, some consistent games together, doing the same thing over and over again. And then you allow him to expand his game and do some of that scrambling around. But at the end of the day, man, we run around, throw the ball, time stop. We don't move the ball. Then next thing you know, we're in 3rd and long, and then the defense knows our concept. And if we don't run around again and find his first or second read, we're in trouble. And so, again, Brock has had 2 games in a row, I believe, that he threw the ball probably under 50% and had multiple turnovers. That's something that we got to assess, especially against teams that are not that good. Like, we can't be doing this against some mediocre teams. You know what I mean? If we're doing this against mediocre teams, we want to build upon him. We want to make sure that he's starting to get better. We want to get his confidence there. you know, and so hopefully Brock, and I think the check down is where he's missing CMC, but at the same time, you got to trust Jordan Mason to catch the ball out the backfield. You know what I mean? Because I don't think he dropped the pass yet. He's catching it. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, we got to do something.
Here's the thing. I know. And then I'm gonna ask you guys a question. But Isaiah Potts says, "I think we are done. To be honest, still early, man. They beat Seattle. They still got this thing. If they lose to Seattle, man, even though it's technically not still over with a lot of season left to play, it'll feel like it for me." Jay Gotti, remember for months we need to run the ball and stop turning the ball over. Agreed. Jay, I want to talk on this one. Jay says Brock is not dinking and dunking anymore. Brock needs to do more checkdowns. Here's how I see Brock. First year, he was dinking and dunking. That's why I called him that. And I didn't think he could do better. He did. His second year, the perfect balance of taking the drop off and going deep. Loved it. This year, he's not taking the dump off. And I don't know what it is. So it's like, find that balance again, man. Last year is what made everyone such a believer in you. I love aggressive quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong. But like, not if you're going to be below 50%. You know, not if you're going to turn the ball over as much as you score touchdowns. Like, dump it off a little bit. Find the balance. I think that's the key. And I like Brock, man. He's a good leader. Like, he admitted, like, those 2 turnovers today. People are, there were tip balls. Tip balls don't count as interceptions. No, they do. And Brock Purdy will tell you that too. As a matter of fact, he did tell you that today. Says, I can't double pat that one to Kittle.
Yes.
I got to get that off early. Brock said that. And the other one is I got to recognize that blitz and have an out because I was too focused on Brandon Ayuk. So according to Brock Purdy, those count as interceptions. So I love that about Brock. But like, I don't want fans in here attacking me because I'm saying the same thing Brock Purdy's saying about himself.
It doesn't mean you're a hater either, Ryan.
Yeah.
Wait,
Brother Bob gave me a super chat. Here's my usual $2, but Brock has been Austin's Baltimore. He has struggled, man. I like Brock, man, and I think here's what I really think the problem is. I'll start like when I started off in the beginning of the show. Kyle is no longer playing to Brock's strengths. He's like thinks Brock is this drop back passing quarterback. Brock is really good in this system. And I'm not calling him a system quarterback. He goes above it when he scrambles. He's really good at the system and creating when he scrambles. But this drop back passing game has never been part of Kyle's offense with the 49ers at least. And you don't have the offensive line to pull it off. You got Brock running around him for his life back there. Get back to Niner football. Run the ball, play action, get the ball out quick, and Brock will do fine. Go ahead.
But why aren't they there now? That's what I'm saying. What? How are they so different now? And why? Like, that's what, not how, but why? Why is he ignoring the easy check down now? Is it just because no CMC? Or is it some type of thing that he's been told? But if it's just because of no CMC, then you know what? Then we need to just pack it up now. We need to get his, I mean, because we can't rely on CMC, first of all. He's probably, I mean, he's on 2 gimpy Achilles. So, and if you need that one player who's a running back, then like we said earlier, you're obviously not an offensive genius. But go ahead, Twin. I'm sorry. This game just got me frustrated.
And which we should be. And again, we're having a natural reaction out the game. You know what I'm saying? So we just seeing again pros and cons, things that with a veteran lady make like team like we have. Like some of this stuff is like, come on, man, we shouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? Or experienced head coach is like, come on, my guy. Like we're losing against teams who are. These guys are paper mache, meaning like they're barely got guys who are available to play in some of these games, and they're lesser opponents, and we're struggling like we are. You know what I mean? And so when you do have a guy like Brock Purdy, we're looking like, my guy, take the easy route. You know what I mean? Take the check down. Jordan Mason can catch the ball. Tell Kyle, hey, Kyle, I'm accustomed to CMC. Every game that I play, and this is what I was telling my guy Terradome, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no. When you play with CMC, that's a buffer. That's a privilege that you do have. And so you can't sit here and like grade this player who always played with a guy like CMC and say, well, without him, he's still this type of player. Like, bro, there's a safety mechanism in the CMC. So when he's not there, we are seeing the obvious that, oh, it's different out there. Things don't look the same. You see what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean Brock sucks. It just means that CMC is really a good player or a great player who is a force multiplier. You know what I mean? And so in that perspective, Kyle, his creativity needs to say, okay, if I'm accustomed to CMC being a check down merchant, I need to allow my quarterback to say, hey, trust George Kittle in this area, or trust a Debo in this area, or trust or create another out route to let him know, like, this is where we need. This is our new hots. These are our new hot reads. I need you to know that before you throw this ball. And when it comes to 3.5 seconds in the pocket and you still looking around doing this, no, man. You go to CMC. If you get 2 or 3 yards, thank God. Let's live to fight another day. You know, and that's all we're saying. And it's week 4. So we're saying this should have been established by now.
Right.
That's all we're saying. Or just run the ball.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jay Gotti says it's okay to have a 15-play drive. Take what they give
That's
you. Absolutely, it is. Right? Just take what they give. And the biggest problem, like, they're moving the ball, is scoring, and they really relied on Christian McCaffrey. Like, how many times have we had a running touchdown today? I want to look that up. How many touchdowns does Jordan Mason have running the ball? Do you guys know? 0?
Probably like 1.
0. Yeah.
0
You know
running
I mean?
touchdown. Seriously? That is horrible.
How many?
I gotta-
Like, somebody go check in the chat, because at the end of the day, Christian McCaffrey had 23 straight games of a touchdown, I believe, for the 49ers consecutively, 23. So therefore, he was getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Jordan
even last
Mason
year,
can run the ball. Like, what are we doing? Like, run the ball with Jordan Mason, guys.
like our formation, like what happened to again, get these big boys. We can run our formation inside the 20. We can run on first and second down inside the 20. Like, we can play action, and it'll be more effective when we ran the ball on first and second down inside the 20, because it's more believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you demoralize a team when you can just pound a big running back like that, right?
Pause.
Like they did us. Sorry, pause.
I need to pause. I got to hit pause on that one. Oh, man. I mean, like, what if they lose to Seattle? What does this mean?
Go ahead.
In the words of Nelly, back in 2003, it's getting hot in here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll say. Look, it get warm down south. We say warm. It's getting warm down in there. You know what I'm saying? It really does mean that if we look at the scope, it's still early in the season. Praise God. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we do have some glaring like errors and weaknesses. And because of the locker room issues that we have had, we definitely need to come to like Jesus moment quicker than normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, other teams are getting better. We don't have the depth that we once had. And so later on in the season, because we did have those depths, we was able to kind of get in the road, and we was, we could outlast teams. But because we're so top heavy right now, I don't think we can afford to put so much strain on our guys to try to carry us for so long and be that consistent. You know what I mean? And so we got to get a little more creative.
I like how you say area. Can you say it again for us, man? How you say Bay Area, brother? Say Bay Area for me.
I was like area, but
I love it. I love it. Hey.
That's that Mississippi coming out me.
I love it, man. I love it.
2020.
Don't tell my wife, but women from the South, I love women from the South, the way they talk. Don't tell my wife that, though. She knows I love her more than anybody, but it's something about the way they talk. And then you go there and they call you honey. They call you honey and baby.
Oh,
and
babe,
like,
hey, baby, go to New Orleans. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, it melts my heart. All right,
you want to be here?
Look, the 49ers have beat the Jets in week 1. They're even worse than they are now. That's one team they won. They beat the Patriots, who are awful, and Jacoby Brissett, who has a horrible offense. They lost to the Rams, who are awful. They lost to the Vikings, who are okay, pretty good, really good defense. They lost to the Cardinals, who are mid. They have the Seahawks coming up, who are upper mid, I think, in my opinion. They have the Chiefs, Super Bowl winning champions, a team they've never beat, coming up after that. Then they have the Cowboys, who they seem to beat every time. Hopefully that continues. Sorry, Melvin. Then they go against the Buccaneers, who are off to a good season. It's not going to be an easy game. That's better than.
Sorry, Melvin.
I'm not sorry. That's the Buccaneers are playing well. Then Seahawks again at home. Then the Packers. Then the Bills. Then the Bears, who have a better record than us. Then the Rams, who beat us already this season. Then the Dolphins, who are putrid, will probably beat them. Then we play the Lions, who I had predicted to go to the Super Bowl. That's going to be tough. And then these Cardinals again, who we just lost to. That's the schedule right now. It doesn't look hopeful. I'm hoping they turn it around, but I'm not like super enthusiastic right now. Should I have reason to be?
Yeah. I mean, how can you realistically be? That's my thing. I mean, the teams we should beat, we haven't beaten, right? The teams we've only beaten AFC teams. Let's let that sink in for a second. And the NFC teams know how to play us, especially those in our division. So how can you realistically sit here and say we're going to definitely turn it around? Now, I know we've done it before, but this team is older. The league, I think, has caught up to Kyle Levy, and he refuses to adjust. So I can't realistically, as much as I want to, not much money, time we've all spent on this damn team. I want them to be better. I wanted this. I was talking to Jesse. Let me just say this real quick. Sorry, Twin. I know you're about to go in here.
Oh,
I was
no,
talking to Jesse. Thank you, my brother. I was talking to Jesse real quick before this show, and I said, you know what? When they re-signed Juice of all people, who I think is a punk ass, but they re-signed him, although they made him take a lower deal. I knew they were running it back. So I wanted them to win, but I just don't think we had a recipe to win. And then when we go out, we fire Wilkes and we get Brandon Staley and latch him up with Sorensen. Oh, it's just terrible. And then we couldn't get Hendrickson. He ditched us to go to Dallas, and now we ended up with Campbell. Like, it just looks bad, man. And we're so slow on defense. So slow. I'm sorry. I just can't. There's no other game I can predict that realistically I would bet the house or even bet $5 that we would for sure win.
Yeah. Let me do this. I'm gonna read the super chat, then I'm gonna tell them what they need to do. And you guys are gonna help me. Daza0187. Man, thanks for the super chat. The dog says most of the issues are on Kyle Shanahan. But be honest, in the last minute of today's game, the Rams game, how confident were you that Brock Purdy would get a game-winning drive and we're going to pay him $65 million? He had an opportunity to win the Rams game. He didn't do it. That's true. It's a fact. He had an opportunity to do it this game, even to his own admission. He was too dialed in on BA, didn't see the blitz, didn't have an out ready for it. So he admitted that as well. Daza, you're not wrong. A lot of people are going to be mad about it. I'm going to come back tomorrow, look at the comments. Everyone's going to be in their feelings about it. Brian Culp is back. Smash the like button. I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. I hope all is well. Here's what the 49ers need to do, man. Okay? Here's my plan. Okay? First of all, on defense, play Mustafa, play D Winners. We need that speed. That's number one. On offense, get back to what the 49ers do, which is run the ball down their throats, play action, and get the ball out quick. Stop this hero ball stuff. It's about finding the balance. I don't care if people dink and dunk. Patrick Mahomes is dink and dunk. I just care if you dink and dunk, if that's all you can do. Brock, we know you can go deep now, okay? We know you can. So you don't need to prove anything anymore. Just pull the trigger once or twice a game, and we'll be happy with it. Take what the defense gives you in the meantime so we can get back to winning. That's the thing.
For sure. Like my man say, listen here. I grew up back in the day where he had this thing called Midnight Soul. They have a guy by the name of Keith Sweat. He come on there and he put on the soft songs and melodies, and where you used to methodically have to make love to your significant other. You know what I mean? You weren't trying to rush it. You weren't trying to long stroke it real fast and get on out of there. You weren't trying to do no Uber, get it in, get it out. We gotta go back to the basics, baby. You know what I'm saying? We got to get this thing lathered up first. You know what I mean? Just can't run on in there. And that's what we got to learn. We got to get back to what we used to do. We used to matriculate that thing down the field. We used to be a team tops in time of possession. We used to be physical, but at the same time, sophisticated. You know what I mean? Like, those things made a beautiful combination. And all I'm saying in the nicest way, like, bro, we got to get back to what we used to do. You know what I'm saying? And so, can Kyle Shanahan do it? Yes. But Kyle's probably going to have to drop his ego off on the side. And because he did have some opportunities where he was allowed Brock Purdy to go out there and throw the deep ball and show that he can do it, that doesn't mean that has to be our only trick. Like, it's like Steph Curry saying, oh, you can only shoot threes. Steph like, nah, bro. I'm efficient from the three-point line. I'm efficient from inside the three-point line. And I'm efficient where? At the rim. Kyle,
right.
you could do the same thing. You see what I'm saying? We got to get Kyle, George Kittle a little more involved. I think he's too far where he'll have a play here, a play there, and then 3 series go and he doesn't see the ball. I think he's one of the guys we have to consistently get the ball to. You know what I mean? Same thing with Mason. Listen, give him the ball the first down, Kyle. It's okay. Like, we all understand. And just shorten up some of the small things, Kyle, man. And quick kicking field goals when you got like a 1 yard to go or 2 yard to go, and you've been running the ball like a madman. Trust your guys, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, Kyle, wake up, my guy, wake up.
Kyle is to blame. I said that first, but Brother Bob, what do they need to do according to you, man?
Well, first of all, it's really sad when your quarterback says, and we've been talking about this basically the whole show, but when the quarterback says, we need to stick or get to our identity, whatever it is, that's really sad. I mean, you're the quarterback, you're part of the leadership. You guys should have known what your identity is by game 5 of the season. But honestly, what they need to do also, because I don't have any confidence that Kyle is going to change. That's just who this guy is. He's going to double down on dumb before he changed. My big thing is it's going to have to be the defense. I'm telling you, I don't blame the defense. It's for sure the offense, but that ain't going to change. Ain't no way he's going to change. So it's going to have to be somebody. That's why I said what I said earlier about Bosa. I need him to step up. I need him to wreck shit up. You know, I need changes with that defense. The defense has always basically carried this team, that in the run game. So that's what we need. And without that, I'm sorry, bro. I want to be positive, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I want to read this. Brian Culp says, if the Niners need a kicker, he's ready. Good. That's good to know, man. Relay it. Here's one thing I want to take, and Tom Brady talked about this. He's Garrett asked, is Brock taking too much ownership? Tom Brady basically said when he was here, I think it was Tom Brady, or maybe whoever else was with him. I don't even know who else covered the game with Tom Brady. But who was somebody on the broadcast, I believe it was Tom Brady. They were talking about it. That when Brock first got here, he was like the young guy, and there was all these stars around him, and he didn't want to mess it up. He was just trying to stay within, just not mess it up. Get the ball to my guys, let them do their thing. He used to say that all the time. Feels like this year he's trying to be that guy. And maybe it's because of contract situation. I don't know. Or maybe he's just more confident and cocky and trying to be himself more, because he did show a lot of this in college, if we're being honest. But I need him to taper it back and just play within the system, right? That's my opinion.
187. We know what the defense didn't do, my guy. All right. We know the defense gave it up in the 4th quarter. But what we were saying, once again, similar to the Super Bowl, you had numerous opportunities in the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, and 3rd quarter to go put points on the board. Like, you can't sit here and then the defense scored 7-2 and they got an interception, gave you 3. So that's 10 points. So that means you only scored 14 points. So what we're saying is, hey, if you had scored at least on 3 of those possessions and they scored a touchdown and field goal, guess what? You still win the game because you got 30+ points on the board. That's what we're saying. So therefore, when you do something like that and you capitalize, you know what happens on the on the opposing team offense? Guess what happens? They got to go with all passing now. They can't run the ball with Connor no more because of what? Time. Because they got to make too many points. But when the game is only a 1-score game or a score in the field goal way, you can still methodically churn, and slow roll the game, because you can have your whole playbook available to you. You don't have to become one-dimensional. So this is what we're saying, all 3 phases come into play. So yes, did the defense start choking up in the 4th quarter? We all see that. But we could have slowed that down and stifling a little bit by just going out there and having the efficiency in your red zone like you should have. But we get all hoopsy and turvy when we have an explosive play, but we end up with no touchdowns. So that's what we're trying to say, 187.
What do they keep saying? Go ahead, Ryan.
Because but the defense always chokes. I mean, I'm tired of people sitting here putting all the blame on the defense when we knew 2 years ago that the defense was transitioning to more of an offensive. Like this team would transition more offense because the defense led for the last 4 years. So sooner or later, the offense is going to have to start taking over. Like
defense, he said the defense choked in the Super Bowl when Christian McCaffrey fumbled in the red zone and Kyle Shanahan didn't know the overtime rules. That's the defense fault.
Man,
No, I mean, look, guys, we all
gave
know
up
it. But
less than 20 points defensively against a team, but then we scored 30 points every game damn near in the regular season. But then when you say, oh, we only scored 18 points in regulation, but now all of a sudden we want to blame the defense. Like, bro, we were just hooping and hollering because we scored the most points since 1994 offensively. Like, man, come on, man. Let's keep it a buck.
I mean, everyone's talking about like some people are talking about the defense sucked today. The offense didn't even score in the second half.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Right? Like,
that's my point, though. That's the point. So,
yeah.
But the offense has always been this way. It's always turned anemic when it needs to be on fire. Like when the other team runs down and score, and you're like, holy shit, look, the Rams, we saw it the Rams game. We saw it the Cards game today. We saw it in the Super Bowl. The other team scored. We get our little sphincter all up, tight and knotted. Our offense needs to come out kicking and flourishing. Our offensive coach, offensive coordinator, and head coach needs to say, all right, I need to do something different because this is not working, but I got to make sure this team gets down the field and punch it in for a touchdown. But no, it doesn't happen. So, and he's not going to change. So I'm just hoping that something on defense changes. That's all I'm saying. I don't blame the defense.
Hey,
we scored 0 points in the second half.
Can I tell you guys something too? And maybe this is what the hell's going on. Actually, now that I think about it, here's the thing. So Clyde Cass says Kyle's passing game sucks. Do you know how many former NFL players, former NFL coaches have recently in the last 3 to 4 weeks came out talking reckless about Kyle Shanahan's passing game? Is that what's going on? Is Kyle this just clicked in my head. All these people have been talking shit about Kyle Shanahan's drop back passing game. And what does he want to do now? He wants to drop back pass. Oh, I'll show him. We'll go out and beat the Cardinals with a drop back passing game. And you can't even do it. You're 1 for 6 in the red zone. You're 50% on the year before this game.
And guess what people will say? The 49ers are, I think, number 2 in the league in explosive plays. But what about our touchdowns? Like, you can have explosive plays all day long, but do they lead to scores? Like, at the end of the day, if you're not scoring, what's the purpose of having pretty plays? And that's what gives Kyle Shanahan the pass, because we see the big plays here and there, and everybody like, oh, look, he drew this up, or oh, look, this play happened. So therefore, we turn a blind eye when we go down there and don't score in the red zone. I think last 2 years ago, we had the most like inside the 20 possessions, but left with field goals, and we didn't punch it in. That was 2 years ago. So like these are stats that have been consistent with this team. You know what I mean? But we tend to always want to do this. And when somebody bring it up, we say, well, you hating on Kyle. It's like, nah, bro. You can't be a team that get down there that easily, but don't score on a consistent basis, especially when you play against teams and you're behind and you really got to score and everybody know that you need to score, and then you come up short.
And you guys remember what I think it was Brady himself, or maybe Buchalter. They were talking about how last year against the Cards, we were like 9 for 9 at third downs. This game, we were just ass. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this offense, it's so predictable. Twin said it earlier in this show. We are so predictable. Like, it's ridiculous. We don't do anything. I didn't see one screen pass today with Mason. Am I wrong? I didn't see anything different than the usual. Okay, Debo's going to get his 3 or 4 carries. You know, I mean, it was just the same vanilla thing.
You know what?
Run.
You know what I just figured out? Reading Garrett's tweet? The 49ers are a running team that identifies as a passing team.
That's exactly what Purdy was saying, bro. That's what Purdy was saying. He was calling out Kyle. He literally was. It's ridiculous.
Man, we gotta have a check down. Like, we gotta have somebody to pass the ball off to. We gotta have a release valve. That's what they used to call it. A release valve. Who's going to take the pressure off, and you know where you got to go and get the ball out quick and fast and in a hurry. Like, those things are needed. You know what I mean? And then you allow what? They put up the graph again. We are number 32 in yak yard this year. So that means we either catching the ball or hitting the ground. So therefore, we're not getting the yak like we used to, which is the run at the catch. So what's up? Why is that missing? You just see what I'm saying? Like, why isn't George Kittle getting opportunities to catch it like at least George Kittle should have a minimum of like 3 to 2 tight end screens or Kittle in the middle type plays to get the ball and do something, because Kittle has that capability. You know what I mean? He has that Debo factor where he get the ball, he energizes the crowd, he do his little, you know what I'm saying? Like, use those things to your to help your team get some energy and feed them in the red zone.
Hey, I got to do something real quick. I'm contractually obligated, and he's my guy, and I totally forgot. I'm tripping. My guy, Chris McCurgy, is a great attorney. The Ryan G. Hensley Show is powered by the law office of Chris McCurgy. Chris McCurgy and his team have been empowering businesses, guiding families, and taking care of the injured since 2012. In California, for estate planning, business, or personal injury, be smart and contact Chris McCurgy.
My man got Robert Saleh.
That's my guy, man. Chris is hella cool and he's hella smart. If you guys need anything with business law, estate planning, personal injury, he's really cool dude. I just got so hyped on this game, I forgot to play it like I'm supposed to halfway through. So my bad, Chris. I know a lot of good attorneys, man. I know a lot of good attorneys. It's good. That's why people shouldn't mess with me, because I know a lot of good attorneys. This guy's one of them right here. This guy's one of them right here.
For sure.
I don't know if Twins. I don't think Twins is a lawyer, but he could be.
I could pass for one. But yeah, I heard somebody say, I heard somebody say Kittle had some drops. Okay, we get that, but if you pass the ball 30 plus times, you feed the baby, man. Jerry Rice had drops, so y'all know this. I'm just telling y'all, like, the GOAT had drops too, but God dog it, you still feed the baby. The baby cry, you give more milk. You know what I mean? Babies drop bottles, you give it back up, give them to them again. That's what you need. You see what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all people, I'm telling y'all, boy.
All right, fellas, you know what? I got to record the best 49ers podcast with Grant Cohn, so I got to get up out of here. I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to Twins channel. Is Twin Empire? Is that the name of the channel, sir?
Oh, for sure. Twin Empire _. You know what I'm saying? Follow your boy right here. It's the one and only Twin Maker. If y'all know anything about anime, aka Demon Slayer, I got the one and only Tanjiro right here. We need some some of his powers. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the anime shirt right here, Demon Slayer. You know, I'm a black guy that loves anime. Yep, that's me. Hey, you know what I mean? I can nerd out.
I know a lot of people like that, man, of all shades. Yeah, I'm not one of them. I can't watch anime, but my wife, all my kids, they watch all that stuff.
I know they got that melanin in them, so I know they love.
Well, technically, I have freckles, and I was told that's actually a little bit of melanin in the freckles.
Yeah, so exactly.
Okay.
Technically,
we're in the pool.
Nah, that don't count.
You got some of that melanin in them too.
Easy Tino says Kyle calling plays 3rd and goal, and his best running back is not on the field is crazy to me. Kyle is not a leader.
Bro.
Brock's a better. I will say this: Brock Purdy is a better leader than Kyle. He is at 24 years old.
Can somebody do some research on that? Because I saw several plays in the red zone where our best, we had Bell in, we had Conley. I'm like, bro, why we got to have our big boys in the red zone, but they sit on the sideline, bro. I don't understand that. Somebody do some research and find out what's our personnel in the red zone sometimes.
GTC says Jed needs to hire Chris McCurdy to get out of his Debo, CMC, and Trent Williams contract stat. I'm going to tell Chris that they do need to hire Chris McCurdy. Twin, your brother's team is better than us. I don't even going that far yet. What's their record right now? What's their record?
But they're still playing right now. But they're losing.
They are losing. Yeah.
What quarter is it?
Well, they winning now, 13-10.
Oh, they're winning? Okay,
all right.
See, I missed it.
I got to get out. I'm going to film the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Best 49ers podcast, myself and Grant Cohn, 5 days a week. We're going to record one here in a little bit, and I'm going to go watch this game. Make sure you subscribe to Twin Empire. Make sure you, if you see Brother Bob in the streets, you give him a high five because he's one of the coolest people I know.
Thank you.
And we're out of here. I'll be back tomorrow morning, Monday, 9 a.m. with Eric Crocker, and maybe I'll be a little bit more calmed, and I'll be able to review this game with a little bit more. No, I'll probably be the same. All right, you guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much for watching the Ryan G. Hensley Show. Your support is greatly appreciated. Please visit RyanGHensley.com to learn more about me in all of my businesses. Whether it's real estate, credit repair, solar, whatever it is, you can find out more about me on that website. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. Thanks again for watching.